Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jill. Welcome back to my channel if you have been here before. And if you're new, I'm happy to have you. I'm happy that you have joined me today. I'm going to continue my story of how my marriage came to an end on July the 24th, 2019. So it was a Wednesday morning. I've fixed my husband breakfast as I usually do. In the morning, I get up and I fix his breakfast. I pack his lunch for him to go out to work. And as he picked his bag up, he ate his breakfast and was about to leave the house. As he picked his bag up from the counter, he said to me, "Well, Jaylee, no, things wasn't going well in our marriage for a while." So I said to him, "You just realized?" But in my mind, I'm thinking, so what are we going to do about it? But I didn't think about what I'm going to say. I just blurred out my mouth. So you just realized that? Then as he got through the door, he said, "If I find somewhere to go, I'm going to leave." I said, "Okay, so what are you saying? You want a divorce?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, bring the paper, I'll sign it." Because I too was angry. I too was upset when I said those words. Then he left. But then before that happened, those of us who believe in God, who serve God, who are church-going people, I was impressed to be in a time of prayer and fasting. So since the beginning of June, I started prayer and fasting every day from 6 a.m. to around 1, 2 o'clock daily. So then after he left, I went in prayer. And believe me, as I go in prayer, the Holy Spirit said to me, "Your response was your pride and your arrogance. You need to apologize to your husband." I said, "But God, why should I apologize? This man said that he didn't want to be in the marriage anymore. I didn't know him anything. Why do I have to apologize?" And I start struggling with God. Remember, I was in prayer and fasting, huh? Because I don't know, God has prepared me for something. And as I pray and I struggle, I say, "God, why do I have to pray and apologize?" And God will be to me, "It's about you. It's not about him, it's about you." And I struggled through and I prayed and I see God, what to say, how to say, God, whatever you're doing with me, God, just use me. Because before, I didn't share with anyone. I didn't share with any sister in the church because I didn't trust anyone. I was ashamed that my marriage was coming to an end. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to say it. Because people look at me, people look at us as being very religious, very godly. People look to us in some kind of way as we look to each other in churches for strength, for encouragement. So by the next Wednesday, I said, "Okay, God, I've gotten to the point where I realize I have to apologize for my response. I realize that if I'm a woman of God, if I'm in prayer and fasting, I have to change my attitude. I have to change the way I respond. I can't respond the way at all times the same way. My attitude have to change. Something has to be different in me. It's not about what my spouse is doing, but it's what my reaction is. Even if it may warrant a reaction, it's not what I say or what I do, but how I do and say what I do and say. And feeling alone, feeling abandoned, feeling rejected, not knowing what to say and how to say, anything just flowed out of my mouth. So then the Wednesday afternoon, it was prayer meeting for my church. So I said, "Okay, I've got to speak with him before I go to church. I can't go to church before apologizing, before making things right." So when he got home, I said to him, "I would like to speak with you." And he came and I apologized for everything and anything I can think about. I apologize, saying I'm sorry and forgive me for what I've said, what I've done, how I've reacted. And he said the apologies are accepted. But then from there, I continue to seek God for strength, still not sharing it with anyone, still not facing it as what it is, but internalizing it and trying to do it by myself on my own. I continue to function as a wife, doing what I should do, what I think I should do, everything as a wife that I should do, I was still doing. Then one day I spoke with a friend and she invited me to spend some time with her. I eventually speak with someone. And this friend invited me to come and spend some time with her and her husband. That was in September. But by then, my husband had already moved out. He moved out on the 15th of August. I went out, and when I came back, I saw some of his things were missing, and I realized, oh, he has moved out. He came back the Friday morning. The 15th was a Thursday. He came back the Friday morning, ate his breakfast, left for work, came back the afternoon, packed his things, and left. So then, by September, when I've spoken to a few friends of mine about it, so this particular friend invited me to stay with her and her husband for a couple of days, maybe about 2 weeks. And the first time in my life, I felt broken. I cried the entire day, one day, a Friday. The entire day I cried because I just realized where I am, what's happening, and how God was working on me and preparing me up to that time. Realizing when God said to me, it was my pride and my arrogance, what it was all about. Realizing that even if I feel alone, I'm not alone. Even if I feel lonely, I am not alone. But that God is with me. That it's okay to share. It's okay that people look at it differently. But I'm to still trust God and look to God, knowing that God is my strength and my shield. Knowing that, okay, there are sisters who are there to support me and encourage me. But even if I got to keep my eyes on Christ, at times we look at our circumstances and we feel worse. We feel terrible. We feel beaten up. We feel beaten down. At times when we feel ashamed, at times when we feel like we can't trust anyone, sometimes it's what happening in us, what have happened to us, that we feel rejected and we don't want to share. As I look back from childhood experiences and see where that came from, it helped me to reach where I am today, that I can share with another woman, to know that it's okay to share. It's okay to be vulnerable. I had my wall up so high and so thick that I did not know how to genuinely sympathize. I did not know how to genuinely be emotional. That's how thick and how my walls were. But God has broken down that wall. As He has helped soften that interior, as He has removed the mask and helped me to see, okay, I am working on you, for you, not for anyone else. Not for your husband, not for your children, not for others, but for you, to make you who I call you to be. For you to be in service for me. So God has a purpose for you, my sister. God has a purpose for you, my friend. God has a purpose for us. So let us not struggle alone. Let us not fight this situation that you're facing alone. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a child. Maybe it's your job. Whatever the circumstances are, whatever they are, God has a purpose and a plan. God has a will and a way. If He's brought you to it, He will surely bring you through it. He has brought me to it, and I can tell you, He is bringing me through. I'm not there yet. There are some still difficult days. There are some still tough days, not as often, but they're still there. But I thank God that I know now that I have to look to Him, because He alone is my source. For He said, I will provide all your needs according to my which is in glory. God which is in glory, not my husband, but God. So I don't need to look to a husband or to my job or to my children. I need to look to God alone as my source, as my strength. So I'm encouraging you, ladies, look to God. I made the struggle. I've made the abandonment from a spouse, from a child, and whatever you're facing with a disobedient, a defiant child, look to Christ. And when He failed you like He's failing me now, you don't have to worry about the circumstance. You don't have to worry about what happened around you, because what's going on around you is not about you. As I've learned, it's not about me. It's not about me. God is perfecting a work in me as He's perfecting a work in you. So I thank you for joining me again. I thank you, Lord, for sharing, as I've received texts and calls from a lot of us women, a lot of you women, encouraging me and sharing with me. I thank you. I really appreciate it. Let us continue to support each other. Let us continue to speak out. Yes, it may be difficult, but let us speak out. Let us not hide anymore. Let us share. Let us empower. Let us encourage each other. Now I'm going to go into the kitchen to share with you how to make homemade granola. Remember, it's FC Revive emotionally, physically, spiritually, and intellectually. So I'm sharing something physically, a recipe where you can make from your own home, where you can eat what you know what is in. You know what it contains, so you can enjoy it knowing that it's healthy and it's good for you. Thank you, and see you again. So in the blender, I'm going to put the 3/4 cups of water, the 2 cups of raisins, the 1/4 cup of honey, a 1/2 teaspoonful of salt, and a cup of walnut. Blend until it has a smooth texture. Okay, now you have all the ingredients that is blended. You're going to pour this ingredient that you just blended into the oats, the whole oats. You're going to pour all of this out. This is the texture. And you're going to mix it back. You're not going to knead it. You're going to avoid kneading it. You're going to toss it around until all of the oat is covered. All of it is going to look brown. Then you're going to put the molasses here as well. Everything you're going to add here. And you're going to toss it around so that all of it is covered. Here, as you can see, all of it is covered. Let me just move this out the way so you can see much better. Like you see, all of it is covered. It's all brown. And now you add the quick oats because it may be a little bit too sticky, so you just add the quick oat. You just toss it together. You don't knead it, you don't press it. Well, if you want some clumps in it, then you can press some so you can get some clumps. Here now I'll add the 1 cup of slivered almonds. You can put 2 cups of almonds if you want to. It's 1 to 2 cups of nuts. So what I choose to do is 1 of almonds, and I love to feel the crunchiness, so I had 1 cup of peanuts. You can add whether 2 cups of peanuts, 2 cups of almonds, walnut. You choose which you would like to. I put 1 of almond and 1 of peanuts because I want to feel the crunch. So I'm not going to make any clump in my cereal because I have the nuts for the crunches. Okay, then you're gonna bake this at 175 degrees for 8 hours. 175 degrees for 8 hours. What I do is I put in the oven overnight. After I mix it, I put it in the oven overnight for at 175 degrees, and then it stays there. At 175 degrees, you don't need to turn it up. That temperature, it bakes it evenly, it browns evenly. If you want to make the temperature higher so you can cook it much faster, then you have to monitor it so you can store it. But at 175 degrees overnight, it bakes evenly, so there's no need to store it. So let me show you the finished product. This is what it looks like. It's baked. You have a nice granola that you make. As I said, you can put coconut, is optional. I choose not to put any coconut in it because I have so much nuts. But you can choose to add the coconut and you can choose not to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So it's your choice whether you want to add the coconut on it. So this is the end product of the granola. So enjoy your homemade granola and may you feel fit, healthy, strong, and revived. God bless. I'm going to list the ingredients. I'm going to list the recipe for the granola cereal so that you can make it also. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell that you can get all the uploads.